Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today, day two's scientific sessions. I welcome today's chairpersons, Dr. Abhay Matkar and Dr. C.H. Shivakumar, and today's speaker for the first session, Dr. Naveen. So welcome, sir. Abhay, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Dr. Abhay Matkar. He is professor and HOD, Department of Psychiatry, SDM Medical College at Dharwad. He pursued his MD from AFMC Pune. I would like to introduce another chairperson, Dr. Channam Shetty Sivakumar. He is an associate professor of psychiatry working in Government Medical College, Nizamabad. He is a consultant neuropsychiatrist at Maitri Hospitals, Hyderabad. He pursued his MD psychiatry from Usmania Medical College and he has done his MBBS from Gandhi Medical College, Hyderabad. He worked as past honorary treasurer of HPS, as a past assistant editor of Telangana Journal of Psychiatry, and published many articles in various journals. Welcome, sir. Thank you for chairing the session. Now I hand over the mic to Abhay, sir. Sir, please take over.
Thank you and good morning. I thank the organizers on my behalf and the co-chairperson's behalf, and wish you all good health in the present situation which we are all going through. It's indeed heartening to know and go through the biodata of Dr. Naveen Kumar, who in a short span of time has done exceptional work in the field of addiction medicine. He has finished his DM from AIMS, a reputed institute in addiction medicine. He has got a lot of national and international papers, and we all are very sure that we will really be blessed by what he is going to deliver today on alcohol policies, the good and the bad. I think probably that's what he would like to convey to us, and we all would like to listen to you. Dr. Shiva, you would like to add anything?
Not much, sir. Like as we all know, like the alcohol policies, what works and what doesn't. We were like IMH, and we are all involved in a study where National Survey of Extent and Patterns of Substance Use in India by MSJ, where they found like alcohol consumption is 16 crores with dependency of around 5.7. And the challenges are like there is no national-wide policy; it's all state-related policies. Somewhere there is ban, in some places the age and all are different. And there's an increasing focus on more of other drugs, addictive drugs in comparison to alcohol. And then more emergence of social drinking, which has been increasing. And then there is a policy like where we came across NAPDDR, like National Action Plan for Demand Reduction, in 2018 taken by SMJ. So these are the various things. So we wish like he's going to enlighten us, like what is the thing that is going on in these things areas and how much these things are successful. I hand over it to Naveen, sir.
Yeah, please come on to the dais, sir.
Good morning to all my dear and colleague psychiatrists of Southern India. So thank you very much, sir. Respected chairpersons and organizing team for giving this wonderful, very essential topic for our India regarding the alcohol policies. What are the works, what doesn't works. So with this background, I would like to present my talk on this with the outline of presentation that background of alcohol policies, why these alcohol policies are need to implement, and why we have the search for the evidence further to implement, and what are the benefits of it. And we have to observe for the global scenario, what are the policy measures are there taken with the available evidence, scientific evidence, and with relation with the alcohol policies in India and way forward we have looking at. So coming to the alcohol policies, this is the policies is nothing but is a face sheet of a country or nation or region about how to handle the issue of alcohol, and their in terms of the measures they are taken to put into control of the supply and affect the entire the population, and as well as how they are treated, their treatment programs, and how they control the alcohol related the harms also. So with this background, what are the spectrum of interventions we have there in the alcohol policies? So there are the population-based interventions and targeted interventions and community-based interventions and harm and risk reduction interventions. So here, population-based interventions, here we have seen that we needed to see public health approach for the alcohol use. Here the majority of the national bodies and international bodies are recognizing that the alcohol use and related the harms are very much bigger in terms of the morbidity and mortalities. So the population data we require, and we have to implement the public health policies aspects with the available evidence and take the community as a measure and see the outcomes, desirable outcomes in the population also required. Where are the targeted interventions in the policies, which we are taking into the consider about that we target into the people who are at risk of the use. Suppose, for example, deterrence policies, which we have taken. These are all coming to the targeted interventions. Even the people who are having of experience of hazardous use also, those patients we have to, the best available evidence related the brief intervention we have to integrate into the health systems. These are the essential targeted interventions. For example, the student or people who are having a family history of alcohol use and harmful use. So those patients are selectively we have to target the targeted interventions. Coming to the community-based interventions, whenever there is specific pattern of consumption of alcohol, and as well as the context of the alcohol, we have to observe and as well as analyze and provoke the community actions to how to handle their respective regions and cultures. Then the harm and risk reduction interventions. The persons who are already have to develop the harms and as well as addiction related issues, how to control the measures to take those patients to reduce the harm rather than reducing per se of the alcohol quantity. So these are the spectrum of interventions. So overall, with these policies, the majority of the governments, they needed to see alcohol use as a public health problem rather than their view of the seeing of alcohol as a commodity in terms of the generating revenue and so on and so on. So with this background, we have to see what is magnitude happening all over the world. First of all, alcohol-related deaths, as per the data of 2018 of Global Status Report on the Alcohol and Health, which is showing that the majority of the deaths are reported that with the alcohol liver diseases, alcohol pancreatitis conditions, and then followed by the accidents, and then followed by the cardiovascular risk. Where the burden of the disease, which is causing by the alcohol, predominantly from the accidents and related morbidities, and then followed by the digestive disorders, that alcohol liver disease and pancreatitis conditions, and followed by the alcohol use disorders. Here, alcohol use disorders encompasses the both harmful use and as well as dependence. Where if you observe that, when compared to our India with the world, what is the prevalence of current users? Here, nearly half of the users are there when compared to world population. So here in India, recent data from the National Survey of Extent and Pattern of Substance Use in India in 2019, we are showing that 27.3% of the males and as well as 1.6. Here we observe that the gender differences are significantly there in India condition. There's a 17:1 ratio we have there, which is not seen in the 1.7:2 of the one with the male and female ratio in the world wise. We are noted. So we needed the gender specific interventions also required for the policies rather than the specifically for the target for the all over the population. Then coming to the health issues due to alcohol, the prevalence of harmful use and as well as dependence, which we have seen that these harms and as well as dependence, which is the not much difference between the world and as well as Indian countries. So this is the emergency room visit data, which have showing that morbidity and as well as mortality, which are observed in the international, especially developed country from the US, which are showing that significant raise in the last 2006 to 2014. There are significant raise around the 200% of the raise of the emergency data due to alcohol-related morbidity, which I have seen. When compared to Indian studies, which are showing that this also incremental increases is seen the year by years, which showing that around the 64% of increase in the last 6 years of emergency room visit data we have seen. So it's a enormous problem is there, and all over the world and as well as including India, we are recognizing that alcohol consumption is causing the significant contributor for the global burden of disease. And with this available scientific evidence, we have to inform public policy makers and as well as to participate, whoever participate in the debates to making for the policies, which we have shown that to address the various health issues, not only health issues, to address the social problems which are arising from the use and as well as dependence of the alcohol. So here the view of the alcohol policies, not to only target on the persons who are having of health issues and who are developing of the dependence problem. We have to see the use level of the health and social problems also, we have to target it. And it should be evidence-based, and it should be cost-effective measures to take along with the cultural and legal tone also. And we have to understand about the extent of transferability from the different cultures. See, up to so far, we have the evidence from the developed countries only. The very meager, even to say a very lesser than the which are we require from the evidence from the Indian developing countries like India. So we have to, how much the best we have to transfer the results and outcomes of the different cultures and different developed nation to developing nation like India. What are the different differential factors and differential trend we have experiencing? We have to note all these things. Then only we will give the best policies on the to interfere. So with this point of our, we needed to what policies are works and what policies are doesn't with available evidence. So up to so far 2010, the landmark global strategy proposed by the WHO, which is given the every nation, every country has their global national policy, which we have directed with the principles. Here they have to see formulated a public health interest with best available evidence. So here everything, but the India, the scenario is a little bit different than which we have the WHO guided principles. There's every state of our nation has seen that alcohol is a commodity which is generate the revenue in a significant manner. And we have to equitable and sensitive to the national, religious and cultural context. We have to assess further, and all parties should need to take the responsibility to implement. So alcohol is itself is not only a substance to the persons who are consuming for the daily regularly. Here the alcohol has its own production, manufacture, and it creates the agricultural dependent, and it creates the employment, and it creates the developmental, indirectly affect the development of the nation, and it creates a health burden. So these many sectors are involving in this alcohol related issues. Public health should give the proper difference in relation to the competing interests and approaches that support for the direction should be promoted. Then we have to protect our population who are at risk, and it should be integral part of the policies. And it is easy to access and affordable, effective prevention and care services in their nations. And these are the encompasses all the beverages and marketing strategies to need to tackle. Then only the policies become effective in their nations. So coming to what is the difference are needed in the developing countries, like suppose every nation has a rapidly changing in terms of the globalization and in terms of the pattern of drinking in their population. So the institutions wise, the quality control and as well as trend related monitoring systems are very weaker in the developing countries. So with this available little evidence, we have alcohol regulation in the context of developing countries. So again, it all makes us to very pressing need to know what works and what doesn't work. So up to so far, the 10 best practices we have seen. With these, all the practices have enough good evidence in the international context. One thing is leadership and awareness, creating awareness and commitment to the respect to all stakeholders in the nations. So we needed a written national alcohol policies are required. And we have to educate the patients about the harms use and related the direct and indirect harms on the society. Like suppose, for example, not only the alcohol use create the ruckus in the nearby neighborhood, it create the road traffic accidents and create the more and more antisocial elements, which are the direct and indirect link with that, and money laundering issues all make them the more prone for the raising of awareness in their regions. Then the service responses are the very best response. So here the almost all which we are observing in Indian context, we have seen in the more focus on the de-addiction centers. But the nation should require the policies. It needed to encompasses all range of treatment responses. Like suppose the harmful use person, which we require brief intervention and brief advice, and a proper referral system from the respect to other medical systems which are required. Suppose emergency populations, emergency departments, and gastrointestinal departments, and even whatnot. All the systems are required which are affecting the alcohol. Alcohol, we know that there are the more than 200 diseases that directly it causes the risk for their 200 diseases risk factor. So with this, all these we needed to treatment coverage in encompasses all the components. Then community action, we have to greater supportment require. Government should require to give the support for the community actions and community measures which have taken. For example, licensed premises policies interventions, which are the government and community interventions are very much essential. Then compared to deterrence countermeasures, like suppose blood alcohol concentration limits. Here again, this is also having the internationally we have seen that the lower limit of the having of good evidence, but whether it's a immediate implementation to getting of the lower level of blood alcohol concentration, is it give the right answer? No, the people are first prepare the population of their nations. The blood alcohol concentration affect this much of level of the harms. So we need to stepwise implementation, stepwise lower of the blood alcohol concentration are very much feasible. Then drink and driving prevention measures, and especially for aviation industries, railways, the persons who are operating the major machineries, these type of the professions which require the prevention measures, and penalty should need to very immediate and should need to give the incremental wise. Then another best practices here, availability of alcohol to regulate the control of the sale on premises and off premises of sale, and national minimum age for the purchase for the people. So we have to protect our young youth and adolescent populations. Restriction in drinking in public places to reduce the domestic violence and as well as ruckus in the public. Then the marketing restrictions have also having the very good buy for the controlling policies. It means the restriction of alcohol advertisement, direct or indirect, and product placements and sales promotions. But these are the prohibition of the advertisement and sponsorship, but it's happening. But in India, sales promotion is not happening in total. Then the methods of detecting the infringements of marketing restrictions also we have to see. Then the pricing, the very best buy for the alcohol control policies of the pricing system. So the selected price and tax measures, how to implement, how much it is affecting the youth, the price elasticity, how it is differently working with the children's and youth and regular heavy drinkers and who are having of dependent population. We have to observe respect to on the data of their nations. Then only we have to implement the pricing policies. The reducing negative consequences of drinking. This is a more or less of the harm reduction aspects of responsible beverage drinking, and it's even community measure also it will need to take. So it's a licensed premises intervention type of things, and labeling of the alcohol containers, the health warning systems, and addressing the informal illicit production. So country like our India, which are showing that all over the world, there around the 25 to 27% of the illicit consumption is happening in all over the world, apart from what we have the data in 2019 global status of health and alcohol and health. But whereas in India, it's raising up to 44 to 75% of the people who are using the illicit alcohol. So 1 out of 4 bottle is a using of illicit. It's coming from the illicitly. And we are very important, last but not least, the monitoring and surveillance is very much important. What is the trend is happening in this era? What type of the magnitude is happening? So what type of policy measures we have to take in our cultural and context wise? These are the monitoring system is very much essential. So these are the best practices having a very good evidence. And sole measure of the any alcohol policy is not a having a good cost effective nature. So we needed to composite measures we have to take. So have to implement the control and as well as demand reduction perspective. We have to implement all the as a composite manner to their context. Then coming to the individual policies. So what are the tax policies? So the biggest evidence from the systematic surveys, which are giving a clear picture of what is the evidence, how much it is there. Up to so far, we have seen that this is there is something inverse proportion relationship is there for the tax and price. So there are different tax which have to put. So like suppose, for example, excise tax, duty tax, which are the having of even some countries and they are in the COVID era, they have some states are reacting in emergency tax also on the alcohol to raise their revenue. But here when the public health point of view, raising of tax on the policies, the content based, volume based, or it's a minimum unit policy wise. So whatever it is, the elasticity will be the change with the respect to the youth and as well as adults and as well as heavy drinkers. So overall, here the modifiable factors are the disposable income of their country. So we have seen that our India is in the last 2 decades, the general disposition of the money spending of the average consumer is increasing. So that is a demand elasticity we have to need to consider. Overall, we have the tax policies having the very good evidence with the international wise. Then the very important in relation with our India, minimum unit pricing alcohol is also very good to consider. Setting minimum floor price, let's say minimum standard unit of alcohol, should not sell less than this amount of the price. So here we need every 10% of rise, we can expect around the 5% of the use of the alcohol will be reduced. So this is we have seen that the overall the evidence which are coming from in aspects of beneficial from the developed countries only, but our Indian studies are still lacking. So we needed to consider here. So for the minimum, it requires a multi-agency of governance is required to implement the minimum unit pricing of alcohol. We need to convince the agriculture field, which are giving the raw material, and molasses, which are the raw materials should require for the production of the alcohol. So these are all at least every alcohol industry should need to take at least 20 to 60 permissions from the government to start their liquor production. So we needed to control all stakeholders which are taken care. So we need this to implement this. It needed the very good commitment from the national side. National leaders should require. So overall, this minimum unit pricing policy have the beneficial effects to control the harmful pattern of the drink, low and middle socio-economic group of people, not to all people. So we are almost a major portion of the nation belongs to middle and low socio-economic group. So this is the very feasible and effective for our Indian context also. Whereas the same minimum unit pricing policy is not feasible for the higher socio-economic strata and as well as the persons who are having of the dependence level of alcohol users. Then coming to the MLDA, minimum legal drinking age. So it's all over the world. It has showing that the raise the level of the minimum legal drinking age. It's a reduce the harms which are seeing because the recent studies we have given the evidence of that up to the 25 years of age we have seen the brain is going to develop. So raise the minimum age should require to allow at least as maximum as possible above the 25. So we have seen the various parameters have showing the favorable evidence in this binge drinking, driving, schooling and crime, all these aspects. What is the mechanisms happening here? The one thing is if you allow the minimum legal drinking age, it means legally the perception is getting to change. They are the sanction to drink. That's why the very immediate surge which we are seeing in the international data from the NISARC and as well as NSUDH, we are showing that significant increase is showing after the dip of the minimum legal age. So if you increase the 16 to 25, there are tremendous decrease in the crimes and drunken driving and schooling performance, all these things we have seen. But here for high risk group, this minimum legal drinking age is not work. The persons who are having a family history of the alcohol dependence syndrome, and who are low socioeconomic status and having of so high adversities. And these are the patients, there the increased incidence of poisonings that we see in the families with having of alcohol harmful use. So it's not applied for the all. This is a very good resource from the NIA document, which I have seen the stepwise minimum legal drinking age, which give the good evidence from that EMCDDA document for that. So from the journey which I was giving the Germany, people having the good evidence from this. Then coming to the what works. So stepwise increment of MLDA should require reduce the number of poisonings and the early socioeconomic gradient also in the teenage population. And targeted measures we have taken in high risk geographical areas we needed to take, where which populations having the give the best evidence. Then the drinking driving policies. Here, so the level of cutoff for the blood alcohol concentration. So effectively control the drug related, especially alcohol related fatality rates on the roads. So who are the regions which are having of low fatality rates? Here we needed to concentrate rather than the transportation safety. We needed to concentrate more on the people's habits and attitudes toward the alcohol. We need to concentrate. Where the regions which we are having of high fatality road traffic accidents due to alcohol, then we have to reduce the blood alcohol concentration as less as possible and make them to more effective, and punishments also more stringent, and as well as to as a repeated offenders you need to get the more severe sanctions. Then the distribution of alcohol, how to controlling of distribution of alcohol is also having of strong evidence in the international wise in terms of reducing of hours and days of sale. So certain, especially in the recent times, we have seen that happy Zooms and parties and themes which are make them to the, especially the among the adolescent period and the college students, where we have the theme type of celebrations. So there will be the more chance of binge intoxications. And alcohol outlet densities. Here the number of outlets, premises is permissible in their regions. So that make them to the indirectly in having of positive relationship with the crimes and violence and harms. How best we utilize these alcohol outlet densities? There is something resource we have from the UNODC data. From that, container based means the certain geographical regions are having of how much the density is required. For example, low socioeconomic strata region where the people are living in their regions, we need to restrict the access of the outlets. Otherwise, they will be consumed. Otherwise, they get the more and more alcohol-related problems. And the distance-based of outlet permissions as well as spatial access level of permissions. So, out of that, container base of the permissions to give the alcohol outlets is very much feasible for the not only international aspects, even the Indian aspects also. It's having of give them much relevance and as well as much evidence. But up to so far, there is no policy-related interventions and studies are not there in our Indian. But overall, we have seen that the overview of that, which is showing that that's the container base of the outlet densities and restrict the number of the densities are having of good evidence. This is the US related, the CDC have a good resource material for how to implement these policies for the alcohol outlet densities. And globally, one set of example from the New Zealand study, which I was showing that locally specific relationship we have the needed to consider for the not only alcohol outlet density and related alcohol related harms, even property damage, which I was showing that very good favorable evidence for that. Then coming to the community related actions like licensed premises intervention. So here, drinking contests and practices, how the way better control by the responsible beverage services of the who are well trained by the bartenders, servants, the patient who are well trained not to serve the person to intoxicated person, not to allow the minimum lesser than the minimum legal age people not to sell. So all these public health aspects we needed to implement. Apart from that, and needed to take the non-beverage services within the premises. We have to food and all these things we have to take in care, and transport facilities for the patients who are having of already intoxicated level to reach their homes safely, and cab services, and management support also should need to require for the bartenders and as well as servants. Then only they will be give the good commitment to in public health policy aspects, and ensure the responsible drinking by the consumers by the way of serving, and regular and stringent and repeated licensing system is should require once we get the license, they have to liable to get the continue up to the 1 year or 2 years. So this, but we needed to, whatever the violations are happening in the minimum legal drinking age laws and the alcohol policies laws, we needed to have the give the stringent and as well as immediate punishment to the licensed premises intervention. Then coming to the illicit consumption, illicit alcohol, how best we have to control in their policies. First of all, see, this illicit alcohol production and as well as consumption is very ingrained in their historical, cultural, and as well as in communities. First, we need to create the awareness about what the harms are causing for the illicit alcohol. Then the regulation, how do we regulate? Especially where the density is very high, very less, especially in rural areas, they get the more possibility of the illicit alcohol production and as well as consumption. We need to control there also. We have to as a strategic manner. Then in recent times, COVID era, we have seen that there are very immediate sanction of the governments by the alcohol prohibition laws. So with that, we already witnessed that emergency presentation with the complicated withdrawals very surgically we have seen. So we need to protect them also. And they are rely on the illicit alcohol. Like we have seen the very much famous huge tragedies in the recent Punjab also. And incentivize the local producers to make them to the illicit alcohol production into the regulated sector, and make them to normalize to import of the foreign spirits, because our governments have given them very high taxes on the imported spirits on this. So that make them more rely on their home productions and more rely on the illicit productions. So here rationalize the tax policies are very much important. And improve ethanol regulation enforcements. Suppose how do we have to by exchange population, exchange department people needed to train how to detect their denatured ethanol in their spirits. So then only we can able to cut it down this illicit consumption. And fiscal marketing strategies, we need to scrutinize and create the population, public and private sector should need to promote in a coordinated manner. Then only illicit alcohol consumption will be the curtailed down. Then coming to the regulating of alcohol marketing strategies. This is a very cost-effective option in international ways, but need to know the cost of not to implement also. For example, if you not implement the prohibition of advertisement on ads, especially in the premises of the education systems or places of worships, those they have the scene, even one single ad of exposure in the youth, especially in the lesser than the 8, there will be a chance of 5 to 8 times of that they try to near immediate within the 6 months they needed to try. So that much of influence is there. So comprehensive ban will only effective. WHO is affirmed partial ban on the alcohol. It evades very easily. Like suppose, for example, alcohol industries, they invest a lot on the marketing strategies, around the 5 to 10% of that. So it means a huge revenue. So they find that innovative ways to how to get the alcohol to reach their vulnerable population. Like suppose youth, they used to use the more and more number of increase, and as well as the women, they target on the more women on the, so they increase the more customers. And specific restrictions will be possible in consideration of the magnitude of alcohol marketing areas. So because what type of the marketing strategy they are using, suppose for example in the films, and they are showing the surrogate marketing on the liquor brands, liquor bottle size and shapes, and having of glamorize their themes of their parties, and especially important in social media, Facebook and Instagrams. Though what are those controlling mechanisms are not there in their countries, they have easy to evade there. So need to restrict apart from the statutory restrictions, self-regulatory codes. Suppose for example, alcohol industry beverage, they themselves have the certain codes of conduct, along with that balancing of human rights also. So because we need not to target only on the high risk population, at risk population like youth and women. At the same time, we have to human rights considerations also we need to balance. So for that reason, we have to need a very well coordinated alcohol comprehensive ban is required for India. So overall, we have that comprehensive ban having of modest evidence, and composite ban is required. Means apart from the ban on the alcohol marketing strategies, we require the other areas of the policies, like suppose minimum drinking age, we need to, like suppose so many community actions related things. Then coming to the mass media campaigns. So up to so far, the available literature, what we are showing that there is something, the immediate reaction by the hearing by the people, especially I'm telling not only the people who are having of dependence, the dependence people are there didn't have the very good evidence to change their motivation and intentions to for dependence of the alcohol. So there is a mixed evidence is there. So overall, this mass media campaign, we have the little evidence on the reduction of the alcohol consumptions up to so far, because especially the person who are not able to not drink at all at their lifetime, the mass media campaign, they feel that it's not my responsibility, it's not my, so they doesn't entertain much. Where the people who are having of, we are not having used in a harmful level. We are taking very social drinkers. We are having of responsible drinking, our pattern of consumption. So there is a lot of intentions and belief systems are not able to change with the mass media campaigns only. Then overall, there's umbrella review happened in the recent evidence we have that by the, it's a overall 2,400 articles of research articles and having of around the 122 systematic review we have that studied with this. The community action interventions having of possible beneficials, especially multi-component policy when we have that. Like suppose responsible beverage services, enforcement, minimum legal drinking age laws, controlling alcohol outlet densities, and sobriety checkpoints, all these things. And environmental changes which have the possibly beneficial level of evidence we have. Then coming to the unrecorded alcohol, how to control measures. Still, the commitment of the political is very much important to control the unrecorded alcohol reduction. So it's an uncertain level of evidence is up to so far. And availability restrictions. Yes, again, the licensing system. What type of the system is we have implementing? Whether it's a government monopoly is there in the region, then it's a best evidence is there. Where the open policy type of things is there, like a suppose free trade. Suppose supermarket also can give the sale the liquor alcohol. So then it's a very restricted availability and the accessibility will be become very, very easy to reach their citizens of the India, and as well as even the female users also getting increased more and more with these strategies, because they didn't like to stand on the queues on the liquor shops. So they try to go for the more and more easy way of the accessible, like suppose supermarket availability. So these type of the things make them to uncertain level of evidence up to so far, and possibly beneficial, especially definitely the outlet densities which we control, then possible level of beneficial we have seen. Taxation, especially in the increasing pricing and taxation, definitely having a possible beneficial, and minimum unit pricing policy is also possibly beneficial rather than impose a much and much more and more taxes on the other excise tax, duty tax, transport tax, so many taxes are there. Then the UNODC, the resource material which we have showing the interaction how to prevention aspects, the prevention policy which we have given. So there's the summary of the slide which is given that we have to target a specific age with the specific policies, like school-based policy or family-based policy or community policies or the workplace policies, which age populations are very best suited. Here, which are showing the green dark squares, which are showing the universal prevention programs, which are the red colored square boxes, which are showing that targeted interventions. Like suppose, for example, early childhood, suppose 8 years to 12 years of age population, we have to more target the early child education. Before getting to the adolescent period, they needed to educate about what are the harms of alcohol drinking. It has to give the very good evidence in early childhood, in school curriculum itself. Then coming to the community-wise, we needed to a national framework of policies are required for the to control of the adolescents and adulthood also. Coming to the India status, what we have. Okay, overall, these are the alcohol policy measures which are the having of good evidence or not having of good evidence. So with this landscape, we need to first understand what type of the control we have using to measure. Our India, we having of involved, various ministries are involved. For example, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is this nodal ministry which needed to control prevention measures, capacity building, and prevention programs, all this. Where the health and family welfare, we needed to, the department is catering for the de-addiction services and drug treatment services. Where the Ministry of Finance and State Exchange laws have the major revenue generating and taxation related the policy making, they are doing that. So the various stakeholders are involving. We needed to understand. Then the state priorities. Really, from the post-independence onwards, what we have observing, every state has seen their alcohol as a revenue generating commodity rather than alcohol used as a public health response, public health issue. Some political motivations have changed their think and thought, and hastily they implement total prohibition and bans. But eventually, there the nearly 5 states are again repeal their prohibition bans also. So the variable responses are having up, they shown their commitment. Then coming to the marketing and promotion aspects, the nodal agency we have, the Advertising Standard Council of India, have the control of the advertisement, promotions, but as well as sales promotion for the alcohol. Point of sale of advertisements are still not under control. Only 4 states in the entire our India have the having of policy on the point of sale of advertisements control. Then coming to the health response, this is a very, very lapse is there. I am seeing in the after the DM, we have I have practicing in the recent times with the private institutes and as well as government, that the poor, I'm telling very poor, the word is we have using the poor, brief intervention services for the patients who are having of alcohol use, not only use, harmful use level of, even hazardous level of use. Okay, once there the health response is a commitment from the government is only the patients who are having of dependence. Then they have to, we are providing the de-addiction centers of respective district headquarter department of psychiatry, they have to start one de-addiction center. So that's not a solution for the problem. We needed to, first we have to integrate our health system into the brief interventions, and these are the early detection of the problems and brief advices, personalized feedbacks. These type of the ancillary psychosocial services also very much important, and early identification and treatment also very much important. The referral system, what we have intended, 95% is lapse. So meager mental health budget we have seen witness, and parity issues, especially this is very tremendous. Alcohol, alcohol liver disease, the person is a liver disease affected because of alcohol and regular use of alcohol consumption. But insurance people, they are coming that once you note that alcohol dependence is as having that. Alcohol is the reason for the etiological factor for his liver disease. Then there's the question mark for there's the sanction about the insurance. This is the pathetic story we have. Then the persons, they feel that, okay, alcohol use is my own responsibility, my own habit. It's not didn't consider it as a disease. That's why they are not sanctioning my insurance amount. That is a message we are giving. So parity issues we need to address still for. So with these national policies which have, there's a very much rationale we have, because various states have their various laws on the minimum drinking age. So for example, Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Chandigarh, these are the having of 25 years age as their minimum drinking age law. But whereas some Goa, some other states, they are showing that 18 years, like suppose Uttar Pradesh. Means, for example, the person who is living in Delhi, Noida is a very nearby the Delhi. Noida is a Uttar Pradesh belongs to. So the person in Uttar Pradesh, the Delhi base of citizen, whether he consuming of alcohol at the age of 18 years, he's not allowed and he's a criminal. When the same person is when Noida, he's easy to consume. So this type of the permissible and permeable of policies are not feasible. We need to national policy and multi-sectorial collaboration, which we achieve with the only national policy only. Then only we can able to think about the sustained developmental goals. So, okay, up to so far what we achieve in terms of alcohol policy. Yes, we create Ministry of Food Processing Industry as a central nodal ministry, central nodal agency. They have started the exchange policy and taxation measures in terms of rationalization. Then we have the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. They created the National Consultation Committee on the Drug Demand Reduction. In February, they started the National Policy on Substance Use. They are preferring more on the other drugs rather than the alcohol. And establishment of National Resource Center in INCAS in 2012 in Trivendrapuram, which means Indian Center for the Alcohol Studies, which is given the revise their policies and advocate their state governments. Up to so far, we are more rely on the control measures only. Suppose no national policy we have, so state-wise policies only we have to as a address to this issue. And exchange tax is same on the beer, wine, spirits. It gives the almost all 20% revenue to their governments. It means second highest after the sales tax. And minimum drinking age is very much variable, and very partial ban is not working. Still, we are working on these areas. And health warning labels we are apply, but not applicable for the social media. There is no national monitoring system up to so far. What is the trend we are going on? We are rely on the more on the newspapers, editorials, and recent not large scale of the studies that we have seen in India. And complete ban we have seen in these states. Where the demand reduction, we are working on the community-based programs, more rely on that, which are we are creating more awareness programs. We rely more on the awareness campaigns of some things. And de-addiction centers also, we are more recently in Andhra Pradesh, we have seen that they have started in 2019, they have the policy creating of de-addiction centers in each district headquarters. So this is this all showing that, but we needed to tackle alcohol use is there not only for the persons who are having of addictive illness. That's a very meager implementation. We need to tackle on the alcohol use at maximum of the all over India and harmful users also. So weaker integration of the evidence-based brief interventions are there. And drink driving policy, we have the implementing in the Motor Vehicle Act according to that. So when compared to, we observe the global working, how they are alcohol control policies. So overall, there is a tremendous change in the overall alcohol per capita consumption all over the world is showing that zero. So there is no increase, relative changes happening in the last decade. Whereas we've seen that we achieve heavy episodic drinking reduction also 10% is we have achieved. And as well as alcohol related attributable deaths, alcohol attributable dialysis means morbidity, also we achieve more than 10% of relative change all over the world. What about India? We are increasing in trend. The men are increasing around in the recent from 2004 to 2019, we have the increase of 30 to 40% of increased consumption. What about the per capita consumption in India? We have seen that middle class and increasing of rapid globalization will make them to there is the 64% of increasing that we have seen, which when compared to world, it's not changed. The beverage in India, we consume more on spirits. This is a fact. So 60% of the 60% of the whiskey consumption all over the world by the India only. And that to southern states having of consumes very high IMFL spirits, means a high concentration of alcohol we are consuming. So we needed to control on what tax policies are work in the high volume related the taxes, high content of alcohol. Then the prevalence of heavy episodic drinking is also we showing that recent trend we have seen when compared to male, female, the heavy episodic drinking increasing in the females. In the recent trend we have seen that, and 10 times of increasing in the general population happened. And 4 times of increase is in the who are already having of regular users. So another more trend we have seen the last decade, women alcohol users are increasing in recent times, and youth alcohol use also increasing. We needed to Indian context, we needed to implement special focus on the youth and women. What type of the policies which needed to reduce the consumption of this population, and as well as content based and minimum tax pricing is important. So health consequence wise, we see that in female, we have seen the decreasing trend of the alcohol related morbidities, because last year we have taken the measures we have taken for the female and younger users in stately related to the reduction of the female related the morbidities and mortalities due to alcohol. Then compared to deaths due to spurious liquor, the huge strategies this is the very interesting slide which I have showing that. See, observe that these states, Karnataka, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Chandigarh, Assam, Rajasthan, these are all the states having of legalization of liquor. Means what happened? This is no state is seen here which are having of prohibition in their states. So high spurious liquor means illicit liquor is happening even in the legal state. That's how much of the legal control is taking how ineffectively it is functioning. And maybe the prohibition acting on their states, they are apprehend to represent their illicit liquor in their records, because on the paper they have showing the prohibition in their states. So that's why they are not showing much also. Then the prevalence, we have seen that in the recent time, is that 29% of the dependents are increased. And significant treatment gap is noted. Still, we have to address with the good treatment response in their population. See, every 1 out of 5 alcohol users are needed treatment, but really, alcohol dependent people, 1 out of 38 only they receive the treatment. So there is a significant gap is there. We need to address. Then the availability of alcohol we have shown in terms of the prohibition. These states we have the showing that still despite WHO data we have showing that Gujarat before independence onwards we have the after independence 1960 onwards we have the prohibition is acting there. But what about the alcohol liver disease rates? It's equal to Maharashtra, equal to Rajasthan. How it happened? So prohibition easy to evade by the if you not implement effectively, and very smugglers and crimes and huge tragedies, these are all getting into increase and make them to the nonsense in the society. Yes, recently Bihar is as a case study we have showing that though they are the showing that riots are reduced and traffic accidents are reduced in recent after implementation of the prohibition, and spending capacity of the average household increased 20-30%, but at the cost of other substances are increased to consumption, and seizing rates are increased, and more smuggled crime reports are increasing, and huge tragedies are reported in the newspapers. So in these things, the alcohol prohibition is a curse or boon? Yes, with available evidence is a curse. Then coming to the differential pricing and taxation. Indian market. So we need to study the Indian market, what type of the beer and wine and spirits which are consuming. As per that, India is the largest consumer of the IMFL, especially southern states. We needed to cater on those policies. And Indian population, the easy availability of low cost alcoholic spirits, means local desi spirits, and associated of the increased consumption and higher prevalence of problem alcohol use as seen. This slide is showing that some observation that in recent times, after the strict implementation of the drink driving laws in their respective states like Andhra Pradesh and Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, there we have seen that significant, tremendous alcohol-related accidents rates are reduced from the thousands to hundreds. So means these policies are working out here. But there is no, these are the data from the newspapers and as well as the websites. There is no proper research studies that are going on in the alcohol policies. Out of that summary, we have what is the priority we should need to give our India? More focus on the youth consumption, and more focus should require to reduce the problem drinking rather than the complete prohibition. First, we need to think this, and more effective market control is required to reduce the health inequalities, and content-based tax policies should need to improve, and alcohol advertisements should need to ban in a comprehensive manner and as well as composite with other policies, including social policies. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation that there is a globally we've seen that alcohol use and its related dependence, morbidity and mortality observed in a reduction trend. It's a decreasing trend, whereas in India, it's an increasing trend. Means our policies are not feasible, not effectively controlling our magnitude. So some reforms are required. Those with the exchange tax or existing state level policies, we needed to improve the evidence-based alcohol control measures and population-based control measures. And very essentially, national level of policy is an essential need of our. More than a decade of global analysis, which we've seen that pricing policies and restriction of alcohol availability are the having of good buys and having of good cost-effective policies. But in Indian studies, still we have the lacking it. Prohibition of alcohol is not an effective option for a long run. But comprehensive regulation with the protecting of people's right with the viable options is a good thing. Thank you. Thank you, one and all, for giving this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen. You have completed well on time. The topic was quite comprehensive, needed a lot of inputs from you. And I'm sure the audience will have a few questions. Dr. Shiva would take over the questions and conclude too. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Shall we take the online one first? Satish Babu sir from Khammam is asking like effect of surrogate advertisements on adults. Are there any government policies to control it?
Yes, sir. Recent some of the states they started to implement that surrogate marketing strategies also need to control under the Cable and Television Broadcasting Network Act also. So, but some states are not having to anything. But social media control is it's a lacking all over the states. Sir.
I have one question,
Sir,
Dr.
yes,
Naveen. Unorganized sector, India, we have a big unorganized sector,
Yes, sir.
and most of the alcohol use, you said that around 30 to 40% of alcohol use is not licensed, or it is spurious, or that. What I believe is around 90% of alcohol consumption is that.
Some regions are there. Sir. What you said that, but it's up to so far.
Some
regions are there.
definitely above 90%.
Yeah.
So unless we control that,
Yeah.
We won't be successful in anything.
I agree with you, sir.
And the pricing, everything, what you said, everything fits into that. The pricing, they get alcohol in 10 rupees, 20 rupees.
Yes.
So it is very difficult to control this unorganized sector.
Okay.
If we can control this unorganized sector with the help of excise and laws, as you correctly said, we should have a central law, a federal law, as well as which is followed by state.
Yes.
But here we have opposite
Reverse
of it,
opposite.
reverse of it. So definitely. Thanks a lot for a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr.
So question from B. Srinivasan sir from Tamil Nadu. Like it's based on the age and comorbidity, choice of prophylaxis and suggested medication. I think it's a bit out of the topic. But
So, age and comorbidity?
based on the age and comorbidity, choice of prophylaxis and suggested medication.
Medication wise. So though it's a different topic from the alcohol, sir, but sir, especially we have to observe that for the treatment sake, definitely age is as a component, but the what type of the recovery risk factor here. For example, craving is the risk factor. We need to give the medication. Suppose, for example, adolescent people, they are very highly impulsive and to consume the binge drinking pattern. So we need to control the serotonergic mediated the anti-craving pathway. And the second thing is that some patients who are having a compulsive type of the users in terms of the addiction, in terms of dependence in severe negative reinforcement is highly working there. Then the glutamate related the mediated actions, like suppose, for example, topiramate, acamprosate, those things are well worked out. Some patients initial early stage, a positive reinforcement is the major factor for the craving. And then opioidergic and as well as dopaminergic related, the anti-craving measures are very much good important, like suppose naltrexone, all these things. So depend upon the age and comorbidity, what they rightly said, we need to, rather than that, we have to take the details about the profile of the alcohol consumption, whether it's a use level, harmful use level or dependent level, what type of the phenomenology is here more predominantly coming, and that may make them to the difficult for to recovery, then we have to address.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other questions from the floor?
Good morning, sir. I just want to ask, what according to you is the preferred age in various states, 18, 21,
About 25 and above.
25 and
That's
above?
a clear-cut answer, which may from my side. That's because I have given the biological evidence also.
Yes, sir.
See, the Lancet journal or many journals, the biology of brain development, which are showing that up to still 25 years also brain needed to gray matter maturation is going on. So maybe the developmental sequelae may be seen in the early presenter, and they will be land into the more and more heavy episodic drinking because their gray matter is not that much of control to inhibit their disinhibitions. So that make them to the more heavy episodic drinkings, and binge intoxication will be there. So better the minimum drinking age for any state or nation, 25 and above, up to so far.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. There's another question, sir, from Narasimha Reddy, sir. Excellent presentation, sir, of IPS in sensitizing the government regarding the health hazards. Your suggestion?
Definitely, sir. Health government should needed to take the evidence-based, informed-based, policy-based options. So what is works our Indian region, Indian culture, and Indian scenario. So what the doctor said, the illicit consumption is very high, 44 to 77% is there as per the data from the 2018 of World Global Health, Global Alcohol and Health. But as well as some regions are showing that more than 90% also. Like suppose, for example, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, they're the having of Deshi liquor is very. So what I'm telling is the respective government, they needed to understand what is the prevailing condition in their state and needed to controlling measures. And very important is the vision of the alcohol, vision on the alcohol by the governments as a revenue generating commodity or it's a public health issue. First, we have to clarify whether it's a revenue generating. Suppose, for example, recent prohibition in all over the state by the lockdown. Every state is started to react very hastily to gain the revenue. Though in the recent Telangana, there is increase the hikes about to 200%. It means last year, 2019, throughout the year, how much the tax revenue they generated after the ban, within 4 months, they generated that much. So that means every government, they needed to see what type of the prevailing condition we have to see and use the scientific informed choices.
Thank you, sir. It was very lucid presentation. So, Abhay, sir, questions, we are done with the question part, sir.
Yeah, you can thank the speaker. At least I was extremely happy with the organizers allowing me to listen to such a lucid presentation. Thank you, Dr. Naveen, and thank you, Dr. Shiva also. You would like to formally thank Shiva, please do it. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you very much. Sir,
Thank
for
you so much,
wonderful
sir.
words.
Thank you.
Now I hand it over to organizers and thank you for giving the opportunity.
Please take your seat. I request Shiva sir to present a memento to the speaker, Dr. Naveen.